again with More Mana Gaming. I'm here with Mark, who got what, please?
I got fourth after Swiss, about top 16.
Nice. And what were you playing today?
I was playing Hoenna Kyte.
Oh, the nice Hoennas, right?
Yeah.
So, any reason you chose this deck this weekend?
The only reason I played it than any other deck is because Sylphia just gives you such a big advantage. That's
and I
it.
think you played it a little bit differently too, right?
I did.
Okay, so you want to get us started with the fancy deck?
So the big difference in my list and others that you saw in the top cut, where I mained 3 Shrieker and 3 Returning Shadow.
And any reason for that?
Shrieker, the reason that I played it was I actually talked to Nori before the event, and he mentioned that this could kill a tower and Failed Golem 2 couldn't. And I wanted to play more 1-drops, that way I wasn't so top-heavy. The Returning Shadows, this was not my idea at all. This was my friend Jake. He told me to play this card because if I'm milling, I can get back like Sylphia or whatever. So, but it worked out very, yeah, I mean, it really honestly turns this deck from Hoenna Kyte into like an Argent Kyte type deck, but with the Hoenna tokens too.
Yeah.
So you get like the best of both worlds.
All right.
Okay, then for the spells and augments, I opted to play 3 Dusk Strike, 3 Delayed Poison. Dusk Strike was incredible. One change that I might possibly make is cutting one of these and playing the Debilitating Miasma card.
For the 2-for-1, right?
Yeah, just for the 2-for-1. Dusk Strike was really good though because I got to hit Rudy a lot. And hitting Rudy in the mirror match before they get to resolve like an Avarice for multiples or something is really good, plus them trying to resolve lab and other stuff. This was basically just like kill Rudy and that's it. This card was horrible, and this card is never going to be in my deck again, I don't think. This was the worst card, and this belongs in the trash can, honestly.
So we'll talk about it because I know exactly what happened. You're playing Hoenna Kyte, and how many other people probably played Hoenna Kyte?
Almost every single match I had played Kyte and the Green Crystal, and this is the worst card. So it was the worst draw. And then obviously you have to play 3 Hidden Lab. And then I did play Philosopher's Stone, so this was like a 50-50. It's not as bad as like Delayed Poison. The difference that I may still play this is just because you're milling so much early on, you could potentially be able to use this when they're in a position where they can't afford to leave 3 mana up.
Yeah.
So this card is good in probably a deck like this that's going for the mill aspect.
And there's a reason it's an Argent rare, right? I mean, it's so powerful that...
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really good.
Yeah. So it seems like it definitely makes a lot of sense, especially in your version, as we get on to like some of the other cards in there, of course.
Yeah. Then obviously I played the best spell in the entire game.
Not close.
I think that's the best spell in the entire game.
Yeah, it's like not close to best spell. It's the reason why I played Yami as my splash color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then for golems, I played 3 Failed number 1, 3 Golem of Devourment, 3 Golem of Avarice, 2 Golem of Allurement, and 1 Golem of Vengeance.
Want to talk about the numbers?
So I actually saw a couple people that chose to not run Failed Golem number 1, and I didn't really understand it because what I've noticed that people are doing with this, with the Kyte lists, is they're trying to make it more top-heavy. But really you need to be, especially with the way the time rules are now, you need game 1 to try and win it as soon as you can. So I went for more of like putting in an aggro toolbox into a long-term deck.
And you still have Returning Shadows for the late game too, so you
Yeah.
still can play the late game very well.
Yeah, and I mean, Returning Shadows actually acts as another set of Yamis in a way too.
Yes.
It's obviously less strong because you don't get the revive, you get to add it back, but on the other hand, you get to get back big cards too because there's no mana restriction on Returning Shadows. Devourment, obviously you have to play that. Golem of Avarice, I was between 2 and 3. But this card is pretty much the only way that you can beat other control decks, like any of the blue decks. That's the only way to beat them, is just to rip their hand apart. That's about it. The Golem of Vengeance was really strong. I think it was fine at 1. I cut Golem of Indolence at the very last minute because I didn't think that Juggernaut would really be a problem since I'm playing green and have access to Sylphia, Garga, etc. Golem of Allurement, I probably should have only played 1 of because it wasn't as strong as I wished it was. The only reason I chose to play 2 of it is just so if I banished 1 off Philosopher's Stone, I would still have another in the deck.
And also, I mean, you keep it in there for the Hoenna mirrors, which you expect them to play a lot, being able to take their tokens or force them to activate hidden labs. So
yeah,
nobody can blame you for that. But it seems like an awesome pick otherwise.
Yeah. So that is the Golem lineup, which I would not change that at all. I don't think. For just regular dudes, I just played 2 Watchwomen. I did not main deck Rudy. I didn't think I needed it. Every time I summoned it, it never got to resolve, just like nobody ever really resolved it against me either. So I just chose the 2 Watchwomen. Honestly, I wish I would have played 3 of this. This was one of the strongest cards. Returning Shadows getting this back is how I stole so many games.
And if you play 3, that means you're going to draw them too. So, like there's a
yeah,
point
or
where,
mill them.
Sometimes people assume that the maximum number of Watchwomans you see is 2, at least pre-board. So when you hit them with the 3rd one as well, it's like they won't play around the 3rd one, obviously. So it gives legs to that idea.
Okay. And then the last unit I played for Dark was one Hellish Guardhound. It's a really strong card. A lot of people played 2. I don't disagree with 2, but 1 worked for me in this tournament.
And spoiler alert, this tournament was very control heavy, so
very.
Luckily he did end up playing only 1. So.
Okay, for the green package, I played 1 Garga. Garga is really strong against, I mean, any Hoenna deck. Just spinning tokens like crazy. This card was insane. I wouldn't play more than 1. Nanatsu, the pure Shinobi. This card was absolutely incredible, and I wish I could have played 2 of it. This card is how you win late game. What it does, when it enters the field, you put counters on it equal to the number of destroyed towers. You can remove 1 and exhaust a unit on the field, or you can remove 4, kill a unit on the field, and then if you do, on the end of that turn, 2 of your shards switch to active. So I was playing against somebody, and I had a Failed Golem number 1 on the field and the Nanatsu with 5 counters, and he delay poisoned my Nanatsu, and I only had 1 mana up. So I chained Nanatsu, tapped it, killed my Failed Golem number 1. On the end phase, Nanatsu untapped 2 shards, and then I got the Zephyr Crystal pop the delayed. So that was a really cool interaction that I found with it this weekend. So. This card is great, though, and it should definitely be ran at 1, if not 2.
And it should be noted that because he plays more 1-drops, you break towers, so that means that you have more control over how big Nanatsu is.
Yeah. Okay, obviously, we play this card. If you play green and you don't play that card, I mean, you probably just don't need to play Argent Saga. So I think this is probably overall the best card in Argent Saga right now. It's just very unfair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. You just have to play it.
It speaks for itself, yeah.
Yeah. I played 1 Greathawk of Cloudsea. This card was really strong. The reason that I played it over like running 2 Nanatsu or something is just because I have access to Yami. With the Shrieker idea of milling through the deck, hopefully I actually get to mill this and then Yami it back or returning Shadow it back. And this card was insane all weekend long.
It's a note because he played a lot more. It's been said a lot, but you playing more 1-mana attackers means that you get to break towers earlier, you'll spike the wind tower earlier, and you'll set off your Greathawks versus other opposing players going to Kyte.
And then this gets rid of a lot of taunts.
Yes.
So, all right, next we played 3 Kaze, the card that says I don't want to die. This card was great. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's a really, really good card. It's
been guaranteed almost a 3 of it. It should be a 3 of in every green deck for the most part.
And then the last card I played, the last green card, was 1 Monarch Sky Dagger. So realistically, this card Okay, I think in any Hoenna Kyte deck that is not running the Shrieker package, this card is awful. The only reason I played it is just because I was playing a mill mechanic, and I figured that I could mill it to the graveyard. And then it gives you a free discard with Kyte every turn. If you're not playing Shrieker, I would either turn this into a second Cloudsea or a second Nanatsu, though.
But it makes the most sense to do that because, like you mentioned, between the milling and the fact that you can Yami back to Greathawks, there's a chance that you can legitimately slaughter people with getting Returning Shadows, milling a Sylphia, get it back to your hand with the Dagger.
Yeah.
So you're most likely to see that combination come up.
Mm-hmm. All right, and that is it for the main deck. It was 42 cards. I wish I could trim it down to 40. I know I can now because Delayed Poison is coming out. Okay, for shards, I played the traditional. I played the 1 Corona, the 3 Zephyr Crystals, and then the 3 Argent Shards, or 6 Argent Shards. This card's insane. If you are playing any deck that relies off of using augments, I mean, this card is just insane. I played against that new Oron deck, and I played against the Kyte version of Oron. And all you have to do with this card, you just tap this and your mana. You keep the Statue at Argent Towers off the field, and then after that's done, you kill the Iskander and you win. I mean, that's how you beat that deck. So.
Really? It's a preview card. You get the card in the next set.
Okay, let's see. I played the regular towers. I don't think the new towers are good at all. I ran into the blue one twice. One time he searched Chronostasis but didn't get to use it. And the other time was in my feature match round 8. And I killed it, and we had an equal number of towers, so he didn't get to use it. So I think the new towers are not good because, if I'm sitting there and we reveal towers at the beginning of the game, and they reveal to me that they have the fire tower, I'm not going to play into them board wiping me a bunch of 1500s.
Yeah.
So I just don't agree with the new towers being in your deck at all.
I think that was a concession a lot of people made. I think the whole top 16 maybe, they just ran the normal set of towers, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
All right, for the side deck, I played 3 Raging Shardbeast. I'll do it like this. We did 3 Raging Shardbeast and 3 Skyship Engineers. Both of these were just to aggro out if I lost game 1 and just hopefully get me in a position where I can kill towers fast enough that I can come back and win game 2, and then we can go to game 3.
How often did that come up for you in the tournament?
The one time that I lost game 1 was my one loss during the tournament. Okay. So this was not enough to get past it. My opponent had 3 Kazes, 3 Kazes in his hand, and yeah, I died.
But that probably was a lost game then at that point. So the fact that you put the aggro package in gave you a chance.
It did help a little bit.
Okay.
For some other side deck cards, I sided 2 Golem of Indolence and a Vengeance. So the idea behind this is to side this against control, against a control mirror. And I did side this. It did come up once, the second one. So this is not a bad idea. The idea behind it was if I played against a blue deck, that this kills Juggernaut. But lo and behold, every blue deck I played against, I still didn't side it because I didn't even see Juggernaut as a problem running green. So, I mean, playing the Returning Shadow package just gives you access to Sylphia and Garga consistently because you're going to mill or draw into one of them if you're milling that much. So I would change these. These would definitely come out of my side deck. I'm not sure what for. Then the last cards in my side deck were 3 Argent Egg, 2 Acid Monger, and Rudy. So Argent Egg, if you want to go and watch my feature, you will see how ignorant this can be. You just side this in when you win game 1 because you're paying attention to the clock. And I mean, you just put up a bunch of Guardians, you don't even have to swing at a tower, and most likely you're going to win. So, yeah, I mean, I think most decks actually side Argent Egg for that reason. Acid Monger, going into this tournament, I suspected that there would be a lot of the Oron deck, and I didn't know if I could actually handle it. So I opted to side in these. I did side them against the one Oron deck I played, but I never drew them because Zephyr Crystal was just enough. So I would still consider siding these, though, because the Oron deck, I think, is going to see some more play. And then Rudy, looking back on it, this should have probably been in my main deck. I sided it against decks that were very slow, just because I knew that I would be able to get this and a Golem and be able to Avarice them multiple times. Honestly, I sided this in against every single matchup I had, pretty much, because I played against Control all day, so this should have just been in my main deck.
Yeah, it's better to sideboard things for you, the things you can't beat, and things in your main for like making your deck run smoother. So.
Yeah, and then we got our fancy Golem tokens. Yeah, they're Yu-Gi-Oh! Misprints, and then that is it for my deck. It was a really fun tournament. Before this, I played in one or two locals, and I play for fun a lot with some friends trying to play test stuff. I learned a lot, and this game is awesome, and I can only see it getting better from here on out.
Would you run the deck back again if you could?
I would run it back again, but the changes I would make would be definitely taking out the 3 delayed poison and possibly Philosopher's Stone.
Okay.
So definitely would not play delayed poison.
Yes, please avoid it. I played against Kyte decks, Liam Fizzy decks that mainboarded too, so they didn't care about their mana. They just wanted to destroy all of them, so be careful, boys. Any shout-outs before we check out?
Shout out to my friends that came with me. I came with my friend Jake, and Jake taught me a lot. He has taught me a lot. He actually top 16 the last event, playing a Hoenna deck. He was playing Hoenna solo last time. We worked on this a lot together. He was the one that came up with the Returning Shadows idea. Sadly, he bubbled out and he got 19th, but we ran the same card-for-card list, except he had a Demon of the Evil Eye, so he ran 43 instead of the 42.
Okay.
So.
All right, so this is Nori checking out with More Mana Gaming, and thank you again, Mark, for everything, all right?
Thank you.